welcome to another episode of What's What BR. We have Mr. Paul Arrigo with Business Baton Rouge, who might as well be knowing what's going on BR. That's kind of your job these days, right?
Yeah, it's my job and my job of my very capable and professional staff to keep me aware of what's going on because uh, there's so much going on now, Brandon. When I moved here 20 years ago, it was almost like, what is there to do? And it's gotten so now that there's so many opportunities and activities for uh, citizens, families to do here in Baton Rouge right now. We've really, as a community, have come a long way.
Absolutely. I'm looking at your background and what I've noticed just over the years, and maybe it's just, I don't know, but we're finally getting. It was always, to me, not always, but it used to be just, like Baton Rouge, and you had, like Baton Rouge and you were downtown, or you were Baton Rouge, or, kind of different. But now you got like your background, you got downtown, Spanish Town, Garden District, all these different communities, and every one of them's got their own kind of culture and things to do.
No question about it. And, we're turning 50 years old this year. Visit Baton Rouge as an organization, as a political subdivision of the state, was formed 50 years ago through a legislative act. And we have done some things associated with our 50th anniversary, including painting a mural, having a mural painted on the side of our building that resembles a vintage postcard. And it's become quite a photo op stop for people. I mean, we see locals and visitors all over taking pictures of it, and it's really cool. And I'm going to invite your viewers and listeners to come on down to our office at Third and Laurel and get a picture taken there as part of our 50th anniversary, which is really exciting.
Wow. I haven't seen it. I have to make my way over there. I've just been so busy. It seems like now that we can get out and move, I'm in an airplane every time I turn around, it seems like. So as much as
it's certainly a pent up demand for activity, and we're seeing it with a lot of our events going on. I don't know if you've gotten out to Live After 5, kicked off a couple of Fridays ago, and we'll continue through the next several Fridays, where the crowd has been outstanding, fun. The numbers are there. There is a pent up demand for travel. Right now, Brandon, we've got more hotel activity than we have ever had, including last year, which was off the charts, that being 21. 2020 was the bad year. 18, 19, 21, and into 22. Things are going very well. Pent-up demand for travel, people traveling through and to Baton Rouge, and we're very excited about that. We encourage your viewers and your listeners to invite their out-of-town friends and family to Baton Rouge, because there's an awful lot of activities for them to participate in.
I tell you, I've been telling people a story kind of throughout, because I started this, show, I guess March, April, right when all the shutdowns, because it was just trying to find out, what was going on and what was happening, and not from so I always disclaimer this isn't from a political, so everybody, if they just step back and get out of the politics for a minute, but Trump had written a book many, many years ago, was talking about the real estate crash in the early 90s up in New York and everything that was there. And the mantra that he ran through the company was, survive until 95. All we got to do is just survive, just get through it. And I kind of took my own page out of it. And I've been telling everybody, it's like, look, we just got to get through 22, just get over to 22. And that's, if you made it through, like, everything's booming right now, it seems like.
Yeah, it does. And in fact, if there is a downside to everything, there's a lack of service personnel right now, with so much business going on, particularly with the hotels, that we've got some general managers who are put on some different caps and are acting as chefs and housekeepers, etc. But that's a good thing. We've got a great deal of activity in the capital region, a great deal of travel to and through the capital region. So it's exciting.
So how are you? Last time I think it was myself, you, and we had Karen was on. Yeah. We were talking about how it was just, you guys were in that mode of, just people were unfortunately, canceling events and different things like that. But I can imagine we're almost, if we went and played the old version and put today on there, are we back? Or the phone's ringing, again with, hey, we want to bring our event?
I'll tell you that when we last talked, we were busy rescheduling events, conferences, events, conventions, etc. We have not lost any as a result of Omicron or whatever other variant that may or may not have come up. There is a little bit of a drop in anticipated attendance of conferences now, whether there's a hesitancy to fly or get into indoor groups, a little bit, but nothing that has got us overly concerned. A great deal of interest in outdoor events, sporting events, amateur sporting events. And according to a survey that we conducted over the last several months, got the results in recently, big demand for outdoor activities, not only from locals, stakeholders, but out of town stakeholders and those who plan conferences and tour operators, etc. So there's a demand now for kayaking, biking, walking, running trails, which all fits into what you guys do. And we're learning that over time we have become a destination that has a lot of these activities, but we just haven't done a good job of promoting it, which we're going to have to do. You know, the zoo, Bluebonnet Swamp, so many activities here in the capital area that we're busy trying to promote.
Absolutely. I spoke, for the last, year, especially during whenever all the lockdowns were going on, that if there was ever a place that we were going to have to get locked down, this is where I'd like it to be. I've got friends all over the, the world. I talked one time to a buddy of mine in Chicago, and he's like, man, I haven't left my apartment in like 4 weeks.
Yeah, but that's normally the way they do things during the winter up there anyway, But I think when you look at, particularly with your audience, Baton Rouge is the perfect destination for families to visit. And for families here to invite out of town friends and family to Baton Rouge. There's so much to do for visitors and locals. Summer's right around the corner. School will be out. Kids and their families will be looking ways to spend their summer without breaking the bank. And Baton Rouge is certainly an affordable destination. In fact, we've got so many free and low-priced activities here that it's no reason why anyone can't enjoy some of the assets of Baton Rouge. We're known as a family-friendly city. Looking at some of the things that staff has suggested that we talk about. A great, relatively new museum, Knock Knock Children's Museum over at City Park, interactive exhibits, learning zones, and it serves children birth through age 8 and their families. So I've been out there, and I'm going to suggest that your viewers and listeners get in that direction too. Baton Rouge Zoo, perfect day for families to start there. Tigers, flamingos, alligators, everything that we claim to be part of what we are. And I think that's exciting. A new attraction, relatively new, opened up at an unfortunate time, but I think is doing well right now, is the Blue Zoo at the Mall of Louisiana. Newest attraction, which is under the sea hands-on experience. Families can feed stingrays, birds, reptiles. They can experience sharks and octopus, clownfish, jellyfish, angelfish, and they could play on a multiple water tables and a pirate ship. I think that's out at the Mall of Louisiana. I have not been out there, but everyone that's been out there has said wonderful things about that. Of course, we've got the USS Kidd, the Veterans Museum in downtown Baton Rouge. Families have the opportunity to explore the decks in person of a World War II Fletcher-class destroyer, and it's really something that we're proud of to have here in Baton Rouge. Louisiana Arts and Science Museum, great opportunity with the Irene W. Pennington Planetarium and different exhibits, state-of-the-art planetarium, theater to catch starlight events every Sunday. Main event, which is another family-friendly activity located out at the Mall of Louisiana. Families can play laser tag, arcade games, and more. Dixie Bayou Water Park, Dixie Landing, Blue Bayou Water Park, Dixie Landing, 2 parks in one. One of the the largest water parks in this area. Certainly, we're proud of the activity that it draws into Baton Rouge. And I would suggest that your listeners and viewers look into that direction. Live After 5 continues every Friday for the next several weeks. You could check our website, visit batonrouge.com, for any information on that or anything else that we're discussing today. And something I experienced during the fall, and I'm going to suggest that you all take a look at it too. It's a free concert on Sunday in the Park, put on by the Arts Council of Greater Baton Rouge. It's held downtown, and next Sunday, I think, is going to be a group called Smokehouse and Mamie Porter. It's a blues band. Of course, this weekend coming up from this broadcast will be the Blues Festival in downtown Baton Rouge, which is really going to be big this year. A lot of promotion that they've gotten out. And again, that pent up, we haven't had it for now 3 years. It's going into the third year, right? 2 years in a row. So it's exciting. It's a good time to be in Baton Rouge right now.
And I think, one of the things I was thinking, you were naming things, the common theme that I think that I'd point out to people is that pretty much almost everything you named is a 20-minute drive away at most. It's not like you're going to another, some of these bigger cities to where you've got, hey, we're going to go do this day. We're going to drive an hour and then we're going to spend 30 minutes, 20 minutes trying to find a place to park. And then we're going to have to, walk. Most things for us are, very relatively close, which is something that I think a lot of people don't understand. As I look at your background, all the things from, the USS Kid downtown to the LASM museums to everything, like you could park one spot and then you can spend the whole afternoon going to everything around downtown. And
then when you look at the Mall of Louisiana, when we mentioned the Blue Aquarium, and when we mentioned the main event right there, Sunday in the Park downtown, with the museums. So I agree, Brandon. It's a very, very doable day, relatively inexpensive, great places to grab some lunch or dinner downtown, and it's times are doing well right now. Thank God. Things are going well.
But tell me this, you didn't mention it, and I don't mean to put you on the spot if you did, but
go ahead, I'll live on the spot.
What's the story? Do we still have it? I remember hearing we were getting these little Mississippi River cruises, like the Viking cruises,
no, that's still on. Right now, we have cruise ships stocking almost daily at the downtown dock and at an independent shipyard next to the downtown dock because there's so much activity going on. Viking will be coming in, I believe, later this year. For some reason, June jumps out at me. So we do have an awful lot of cruise ships coming in. They're interesting to look at, but when you're looking at thousands of passengers that get off here in Baton Rouge and explore everything we've got, and we meet each boat. We hand them some Mardi Gras beads so that if you see people walking around year round with Mardi Gras beads, you know they're from one of the cruise ships. And it's exciting. It's a great opportunity for this city to step forward when we've got these kinds of activities going on.
So that's rolling now. So I just missed the boat on that one.
Well, you didn't miss the boat. What happened was when we last talked, we were probably in the COVID mode and they were not cruising at the time.
So your main, Visit Baton Rouge main initiative is, getting people to visit, Baton Rouge. But is there a part of it too, I would think, I think we have a problem personally. I think we have a problem I talked about with a lot of people that are from Baton Rouge that don't go explore Baton Rouge. It's like I work here, I go do a couple things, and then whenever I'm trying to, we never consider, and we talked about this on the last show, they don't consider all the things, hey, I could go spend the time downtown or I could go do the Blue Zoo. But what they also don't do is they don't speak up. All these people that are on their own boards or their own committees, they don't raise their hand and say, we want to be the host city, come right here.
And that's something we're trying to work on very diligently. We've got a sales staff as far as bringing conferences and conventions here. We do explore leadership on boards different associations and what have you. And we do encourage them to assist us in our efforts in pursuing these conferences, conventions, et cetera. So yes, it is something we do, but I'm going to tell any of your viewers, listeners, that if they hold leadership in a club, in a fraternity, in a sorority, in an association or a society, give us a call. We would love to work with you to help bring those conferences and conventions to Baton Rouge. We've had some very good success. I mean, we had the International Planetarium Convention come here because the president was here in Baton Rouge. And this was a group that had met in Chicago, in Egypt, internationally. We got them to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and that's what it takes sometimes. And we've had a lot of success with that. We're going to continue to have success. So no reason why we can't be proud of what this community has to offer.
Absolutely. And you hit it on the head, and that's something I wanted to make sure that everybody that, who got it, that's what you guys do. Whether you're a small group and you're saying, hey, we've only got, 30 people that are coming to town that we're trying to do something, but we live here. We sometimes miss some of the opportunity, but that's where, if I'm bringing 30 people in, I can call your office and say, I'm bringing 30 people in, help me put together an agenda or give me the package that'll pitch to these. I don't have to do the legwork to find all the activities. And I can say, look, y'all want to come to Baton Rouge? I'll get a package to see if it entertains you or if you like the idea. Exactly. And then I don't have to put it together. I can call you guys. Right?
Exactly. You call us, you say you're looking at bringing XYZ association because you hold leadership or are interested in the organization. We'll sit down, we'll get the hotel bids, the information, help you put together an agenda, find the resources, the buses, the balloons, the bands, etc. And it's something that we do, and we have a staff that's very good at what we do in that regard.
Absolutely. Well, Paul, I think it's amazing what you guys are up to, and it's, God, I'm conflicted. I almost want to go back and watch it just to see the contrast of when we talked before, in the beginning of everything, to see we're literally night and day. Before it was this reacting and pivoting and trying to move. Now it's like, we're just trying to keep up with it.
It's pretty much the way it is. And because of the pent up demand that we're facing right now, it's really keeping us hopping right now. And we don't know how much longer it's going to keep on, but I can tell you, enjoy it while it's happening right now. The hotels are doing very good. As when people come into town, obviously they affect positively the retail, the attractions, restaurants, etc.
Well, tell me, how long, Live After 5, you mentioned it, it's kind of ended, there. How long, do you know how long Live After 5 is running to this year?
Hold on a second. I think I've got that here. May 5 is the last one. Keep in mind, the second to last one is April 29, which is the day before. A gentleman will be in Tiger Stadium, 105,000 people. He will be calling Baton Rouge.
Exactly. I'm traveling out of town. I'm supposed to come back on the 29th. And I was threatened within an inch of my life if I did not make it back. Like I was told to, walk home if my flight gets delayed, to be here, on the 30th.
This is so exciting to have. I've been here 20 some odd years, and for 20 some odd years, I've been hearing that we needed to get Garth Brooks to play Tiger Stadium. Well, it's happening. It's happening in my last year as president. As you know, I'm going to be retiring in September. It's so exciting to have this happen now in Baton Rouge. And of course, it was supposed to be a couple years ago. It didn't work out, but we're excited about that.
I think everybody is. And I've called it. I've told everybody, I guess I could do it on the record here. I think this is going to be, it'll be the second, maybe third time, but I'm willing to bet that LSU observatory registers that little small earthquake. I think it's going to happen.
Wouldn't it be cool if we topped that earthquake, and maybe put a couple of cracks in the ground?
Yeah, I think if there was anybody that can do it, I think that's everybody's, Garth Brooks here. I think everybody's, like I said, it's going to be a night, and I think we'll hit it,
I hope so.
Well, Paul, I appreciate you jumping in, spending some time, telling us what's going on. I think maybe we ought to wait, or not wait as long to catch back up and see kind of how things are moving, especially with summer activities and things going on. We'll have to touch base again and see what we can do.
Would love to do it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.